Hey, call me Shape, and today I'm reacting to a video titled Men Are No Longer Simping and Women Have Noticed. Let's get right into it.
There are some amount of men that, they're in their masculine and they understand that you're supposed to pursue a woman and court her and how to treat a woman. They understand they're supposed to protect and provide. But then you have the other half where they're just trying to figure out life and figure out where they fit in at. So a lot of them beat on their chest like King Kong and say they're alpha when they're really just a beta. Then you got some of them that claim that I'm masculine when they're really...
Where are all the women who lost their male partners to red pill content? Front and center, please.
Hey, yes. She is me and I am she. I've dated a red pill podcast guy, and when I tell you it damn near destroyed me, it is a disastrous thing in our community, and we really need to talk about it. Dating a guy in the beginning, it was nice. He was sweet, he was kind, he was generous, everything like that. But then he started to become aggressive, and that concerned me because he wasn't physically aggressive, but he was verbally aggressive. The tones that he used with me would actually scare me. And I told him, I laid it out like, I've never been talked to aggressively by a man. I've never been in an abusive relationship. My daddy never even talked to me aggressively. So I'm not going to accept that. And he changed for a little bit. But then he started watching those podcasts, which he then told me that he was watching. I suggested that he stop watching a podcast, delete, curate his own social media, stop watching a podcast and get therapy, because what he would say things like, you got to be aggressive towards women. That's the only way that they gonna respect you. And I'm like, no, like, I respected you when I met you and you were kind as and sweet as pie. Aggressiveness is scary for a woman, especially a big man using a negative tone towards a woman. That's terrifying. And he told me I got to delete all these red pill podcasts. He's like, I didn't even know what it was. I thought it was just guys talking. I said, it's different types of podcasts. If they're not uplifting you, if they're telling you nothing but negativity, they're putting poison in your mind. If everything you see and hear is negativity, that's what you're going to see and feel. Negativity. You have to curate what you see in your life, especially being an older person. You need to know better. So I gave him 2 chances, and both chances he failed. And his thing also about dating an attractive woman. When we go out, I put myself on. I look good. I'm beautiful. I'm very charismatic, and that was what he loved about me. But watching the Red Pill podcast, his thing, he would make these weird statements about, oh, I know these men trying to talk to you and blah, 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 blah. I know you be going out on dates and blah, 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 blah. I'm working.
That is not the red pill content. I'm sorry. And I don't even want to defend the red pill, right? But if anything, he's probably watching Fresh and Fit. If he's arguing with you and fighting with you, he's watching Fresh and Fit, okay? The red pill, the community is all about telling the truth. Okay, and so I'm kind of like red pill adjacent. I guess you could call me red pill or whatever, but I'm just a reasonable person that just tells the truth. So if you're blaming the red pill for this is not the red pill. He uses it as a scapegoat. That man is just a bad man, and he don't know female nature whatsoever. Because if you know female nature, you would never argue with women, because it's a losing battle.
I'm working 3 hours away from home. And then he would say things like, oh, I know you probably messing with a dude down there, a woman as attractive as you. Like, these red pill podcasts would literally poison him and make him think that I'm a woman that I was not. Okay, ladies, if your men are watching a red pill podcast, break up with them. They need therapy. That's poison. They are experiencing traumatic events on a daily basis, and they don't even know. They're feeding their minds with poison, and they don't even know. Dealing with a man who watches red pill podcasts or even participated in that type of stuff.
I really don't like it when women try to conclude that everything is because of red pill, and the truth be told, this man that she dated just sounds a bit insecure. And it definitely matters who these men are talking to, because I'm not talking about guys who listen to dumbass Fresh and Fit, but it usually helps level-headed men to level up a bit and focus on more important things versus acting like a beta male like the man that she's describing.
In a world where men are consuming this like weird red pill content, and you really like you don't know if that's how they are until they start talking, it's some words you need to listen out for. Soon as I hear the word modern woman come out of a man's mouth, I'm sprinting away. I'm sprinting. I'm in a full jog. What other words? Alpha male, absolutely not. If he starts talking about a high value man, absolutely not. Oh, body count? You're out of here. You're so far out of here, bro. First of all, even if he's not a red pill, if you use the word body count, you might not necessarily be into red pill content, but you're too old to be asking about that. You're way too old to be asking about that. You're weird. This is another one that might not necessarily be a red pill red flag, but it's still a red flag to me. You start talking about how, like, I like asking men about their past relationships because it gives you good insight to who they are. And if you start saying, like, oh, my old girl didn't listen to me, like she just wouldn't listen or she wouldn't let me lead, I'm not interested in you anymore. I'm sorry. Why do you feel like you need to lead a grown woman? Why does a grown woman with bodily autonomy and self-control need another grown man to tell me what to do and I have to listen? What?
Because God said so, okay? God said so. And it's unfortunate that you think it's the red pill, the red pill. It's funny because, you know, when all the crusades happened, people blame the Bible. They blame Christianity. But it wasn't the Bible, Christianity. It's bad actors. Same thing here. You have these bad actors that heard about the red pill. They like the content because they're discovering things about women, but they don't pay attention. They're not good students. They're poor students. Okay? That's just like saying someone that watches football knows how to play football. It's not true. Okay? So if you feel like, one, you don't want to be led by a man, you're just a feminist. Your issue is not with men or even with red pill. Your issue is with yourself. You think that you're autonomous and you want a man to protect you and provide for you. And what does he get in return? A girl with a mouth who's autonomous. Why would I be paying for that? Why would anyone purchase that with their hard-earned cash? Disrespectful, doesn't want to cooperate with you, and she got a mouth. Men, are you spending your money on that? I'm not spending my money on that.
Like, I'm clutching my pearls right now. What are you talking about? If he refers to women as females, absolutely no. If he starts calling men simps, absolutely not. I love a simp. And I was just talking about this to a guy that I'm talking to the other day. I love him. You call him a simp, I call him a king. That's my man.
Yes! Let them tell on themselves. Yes. They love simps. Feminists love simps. People need to know simps get laid. Simps get action. Okay? They're sleeping with feminists. But usually what happens in the black community is that they'll sleep with a simp. They'll get pregnant by the simp. And then they realize he's a simp. Then they break up with him. You guys could think that he's a king. All right? All he is just a pig with lipstick on. All right? He's not a female. He's a pig with lipstick. He's beta. He's a simp. And we call him simp because he worships women like you. Y'all want to control. Women are addicted to power and control, and that's why the red pill is taking over. The red pill's mainstream now. I've heard about it a long time ago. I guess back in 2019, so 6 years of this ish. And I'm happy that people know about it, but yeah, if you watch this content, don't let anybody know, okay? Unless you want to figure out if they're feminists or not.
My man. If you're not gonna simp for me, if you too busy keeping it cool and acting nonchalant, you need to keep it over there because I'm not interested at all. And this last one might not necessarily be a red pill, red flag, but if you talk down on single mothers, because some men will find a way to somehow work that into the conversation, or women that don't have a relationship with their dads, you're out of here, buddy. I'm not here for it.
Where are all the women who lost their male partners to red pill content?
Oh my God, story time, because this was literally me. So me and my current boyfriend, because yes, we are still together, but let me tell the story. We got together 4 years ago. And when we first got, y'all know I struggle to talk, right? Well, when me and my I struggle real bad. When me and my boyfriend first got together 4 years ago, he was a totally different guy, even than like the guy he is today. He had just gone through some stuff. He was working on himself. And honestly, like, he was an easy guy to fall for, like successful, had his own house, you know, the works. But like slowly over the course of the time we were together, I noticed like this change in his behavior, and he slowly kind of started to devolve. Like, he wasn't treating me the same way. We didn't talk as much. And I honestly didn't enjoy being around him. Like, I didn't like him. But like right when I started getting to a breaking point, I noticed one day, like, I heard on his phone, Mr. Andrew. And it all clicked. Like, it all started making sense. And I was like, okay, this is going to be an uphill battle. And I'm not going to lie, we fought like daily for a long time. It was a lot of fighting. But eventually I realized like he was hurting, and I had to really meet him where he was and try empathy instead of anger and judgment. And it was very hard for me to do. And I'm not even going to sit here and act like it's something that is even worth doing with everybody, but I realized that he was a really good person and he was worth doing that with. So like, your relationship doesn't have to fall apart. It just took I'm not going to lie, like years, truly, like just as much time as we had spent together before that, we spent almost that same amount of time working on our relationship after that. But I also feel like that's why it's so important to realize that Andrew Tate is the only person talking to these men. And if you want a different result, you have to talk to that man.
Andrew Tate's not the only one talking to him. Stop blaming the red pill on Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit. These guys are small actors. And what I mean by small actors, there's only 2 of them. There's thousands of red pill creators. And you guys look to them and say, these are the people we look up to. No, they're just 2 people that got popular in the space. I don't look up to Andrew Tate. I don't look up to Fresh and Fit. Again, and by the way, Andrew Tate don't even tell you to fight with your girls. Andrew Tate tells you, to punish women with your attention. So even what he preaches, he doesn't preach is argue with women. Just because we're entertaining and we yell and we scream and we act out on podcasts, and not necessarily act out, okay? Just because we're passionate about what we're talking about doesn't mean that in our private lives we're yelling at women, right? That's what people assume. That if I'm here entertaining a crowd, that this is how I deal with my women. No, I don't. Not at all. I'm not arguing with you. If we argue too much, you gotta go. That means you're combative. That means you're contrarian. Okay, that means you're disagreeable. Even Jordan Peterson says a disagreeable woman isn't a good woman. Okay, because it's not women-like. Women tend to be more agreeable than men. You guys are the herd followers. Y'all follow the herd. Y'all just don't realize the right herd to follow. Y'all need to follow our herd. Okay, y'all want to worship simps because you think it's great for a man to worship you, and I get it. Women, y'all feel like y'all are oppressed. I get the whole story. You feel like you're oppressed, and men are holding you down. And now in 2025, and in the roaring 20s, you guys are making a comeback. But the reality of it is that you guys are out of order now. So the only thing the red pill did was help men take their power back. Stop putting women on a pedestal. That's not the proper place. We need to put men, if anything, on a pedestal. Men are the arbiters of society. They create society. They build all these wonderful structures that we use. She said she dated a man because he had his house and he had his life together. You like men that could provide, okay? And so that's why we are on the pedestal. We're not just arbitrarily on the pedestal because we're men. I know a lot of women think we're just arbitrary up there. So now it's time to make women arbitrarily in power. No. Okay, you guys don't got hands. We got hands. We can protect the people. We can provide for the people. And that's why we lead. Leadership's from the front. It's not from the behind. And it's not by the mouth. It's by the actions. It's about what you do. It's about walking the walk. Okay, but in womanhood, it's all about talking the talk. Who could talk the slickest? This is why if you learn game, it works on women because that's all they're built on. This, running the mouth. Okay, if you learn how to talk to a girl, you could talk your way into some draws. And you can talk your way out of some draws. So just be quiet, okay? Don't chase women. It's not the proper place. Any woman that tells you that it's masculine to pursue women, she's pretty much saying it's masculine to chase punani. No, it's not. It is feminine to chase punani because you're chasing your pleasure. You need to be chasing purpose. Masculinity is about chasing your purpose. Okay, my purpose are these videos. That's why I make them. That's why I'm spending all my time and energy making these videos. You guys don't know what it goes into take this. This is 6 years of grinding in this space. And now you see success, and now y'all I'm like, oh, but there's a lot of times where I had to be alone by myself, not with women, to get this off the ground. And now that it's off the ground, I'm definitely not spending time with women. I have no time. I'm too busy. Because I could be making videos like this, helping out the community, instead of chasing women that think like this, with blue hair, and they're rotten. Septum rings, all that stuff, man. We don't like any of that stuff. Anyway, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel. Channel's blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you over there.